welcome back to the Simplicity Diaries with me, John Payne. You did it. Here we are again. You made the space for this brief little podcast. They're mercifully brief, aren't they? And over at the Simple Family Living site this month, the three other episodes are there is one about how to work with kids' disruptive behavior when they get goofy, when they clown around, which is often a sign they're not coping. And so how to kindle their competencies in order to deal with that clowning and goofy and disruptive behavior. We'll also be talking about how to have a loving, kind, but very firm no. And we walk around this how to give children boundaries, how to have the word no appear as a part of your toolkit, but have you be grounded. And there's some very specific strategies about being grounded in the no so that it's quiet, but it's firm. And avoid that sort of frustrated shouting kind of no that often comes up. And then finally, we will be looking at how to have play dates. If you're a low or no screen home for children, how to have play dates with kids who are heavily screen affected, who are adrenaline, cortisol, but really dopamine affected. And rather than exclude those kids from your children's lives, how to have brief but specific strategies around how to make play dates like that have a greater chance of working out. Okay, so that's over at the Simple Family Living site. There's a link right below in the show notes, and you can go right over there and have a free trial of that site, take it for a test drive, and also hear these three other episodes. This week, we're going to be exploring the space between a child and a parent. It's an elusive subject, the space between. But this space between is alive. Between a child and a parent, it's constantly, we're in flow with a child. There's a current moving between us throughout the day, and those currents can get very easy and flowing and just calm, and they can also get turbulent, can't they? But there is a space. It's not just our emotion within us and the emotion within a child or the feelings within us. Our feelings radiate, our emotions radiate, our sense of who we are in that moment radiates out. And I think it's important to remember that space is alive and it's not a void to be filled with words. If we can get this sort of larger concept down and trust in it, just trust in the love, the care that flows between us. You can sense when someone cares for you, when someone loves you, and there is that flow between you. And we often talk about that, don't we? That we're in flow, that we're in sync, and there's all kinds of words to describe it. But the tendency to fill a space with words, to fill a space with actions, with busyness, with doing, a lot of that melts away when we know that that space is alive and we can just trust it. We can just trust that even if we aren't talking to a child, and even if we aren't doing things and busily setting up and craft projects and getting them here and getting them there, if we can just trust that when we're present with our child, when we're just hanging out, with our child, that there is a silent flow going on between us. I mean, more, I guess, scientifically, we know that children are watching us and watching us very carefully, particularly little ones, younger ones, and inwardly they're already moving. Those mirror neurons in the brain are already washing the dishes, even though they're not moving a muscle. Now and then, as I've mentioned before, we hear that dreaded scrape across the floor, and here they come to help us wash the dishes, to help us fold the clothes, and we think, oh boy, this is going to take a while. But that there is something going on inwardly in a child. Now, also, there are mirror neuron clusters around the emotional centers of the brain. And it's interesting how that works, isn't it? Because you could say, well, a child feels what we feel, right? And we know that, sometimes if we're feeling sad or happy, or it does. We know that is being picked up by our kids, but that's being communicated. How? And it's via the space between us. That is the conduit for that communication. It doesn't just happen by accident. There is something being communicated through the space between us, and if we can relax into that and relax into that wordless flow, then a lot of life starts to simplify. A lot of what we feel in terms of busy work can be set aside because we just don't need to go there. And slowly, our children start to also trust that space. They trust. The little examples are they trust it in the car. We're traveling somewhere, and if we can resist giving our kids iPads and phones and just let them be, it's almost like a prototype of one of those few spaces of just being. And I think we've got to recover that those car ride spaces to just being spaces. But then you can build out from there, so that if there's a Saturday morning where nothing much is going on, and initially, as you're learning to trust this space, a child say, I'm bored, nothing to do, or this is boring, or whatever, then it's okay. It's okay that you're bored. It's fine. It's hard, but it's fine. And just your sense of wordless care of love for a child in those moments will be communicating. And the more we can trust this, the more our children will learn to decompress. They'll learn to relax. We'll learn to not fill the space with busyness and words. And it's in any way you look at it, it's just healthy. It's healthy for a child's nervous system. It's healthy for our nervous system. But most of all, it's healthy for our connection. That ability to just be together is some of the most precious and beautiful moments. Only modern society has started giving us this unspoken message that this is not okay. We should be talking. We should be doing. And if we can just trust that space is alive, then a lot can start to shift in a home. I hope that is helpful. Don't forget, if you'd like to speak to me or one of our team about the issues that are coming up for you, the support needs you might have, just go right to the show notes or to Simplicity Parenting, and you'll see request a consult. And love to hear from you. Okay, bye-bye for now.